Who's Misky? Who's Misky? Rolling from my window, read at your own shows and see. Here, we put them back in. I'm not the one you wanted. I'm not the one you need. Go lightly from the ledge, babe. Go lightly on the ground. There isn't much food, is there? There isn't much food.
I've found it so many times. Wait, you're opposite. It's opposite you. You're projecting. I don't fart out of my
If Mammy doesn't do it, it's not going to get done. Well, it sounds so weird listening to myself talk to myself. I haven't filmed in so long. But I took some time off. I'm just finding it difficult to try balance all the things that I'm doing at the moment. Not to be one of those people that's like big things coming soon, because nothing big whatsoever is coming soon. It might be big to me, but definitely to other people it's not. But I am working on things at the moment, and I'm studying as well. Yeah, I've just taken some time off from filming, and I felt like all my videos were really brand heavy, and I hate that. So I just wanted to come back to myself and talk. I wanted to talk to myself in my bedroom again, coming back to my roots. I've been learning a lot about attachment theory in child psychology, and I have, well, one of my main fears, it is so empowering obviously learning all this information. Like, it's crazy that parents don't have to complete a course before they have children. Like, I just can't believe there are so many people out there just winging it. Because it's just so complex trying to raise a person. It's just, and it's the most important job in the world. Like, I literally have someone's life in the palm of my hands at the moment, and it could go any direction. Do you know what I mean? And I have such a huge impact on another person, so I'm trying my hardest to do have the best possible outcome for her, so that she's happy and like well-rounded. I think I'm doing a really good job at the moment, but obviously there's some things where I'm like learning about, I'm like, oh my fucking god, I'm an idiot. But anyway, over the Christmas period, I was spending a lot of time with her dad. We were spending a lot of time as a family, holding hands with her in the middle, and it was just so nice. And I can see so much of him and her, if you know what I mean. So it's not nice. Why am I getting emotional? So yeah, it was just nice doing that. But now it's like a bittersweet feeling coming back to reality and living, you know, the co-parenting lifestyle, I guess. But that was one of the main things where I thought I was going to traumatize her, because she spends incrementally, she always obviously spends time away from each parent, and not enough time with all of us together. So it was nice to be able to gift her that time together over Christmas, and she was so happy as well. And it just, well, obviously I, not to be self-deprecating or anything, but obviously if you feel like a piece of shit, it just feels like a big failure in your life. But I'm really glad that we get along, and we obviously love each other a lot, but we're just so different, and ultimately that was, you know. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so I was learning about attachment theory, and then I was getting myself all worked up that she's going to have an insecure attachment style because she spends so much time away from me at the weekend. Like, I feel like I'm abandoning her every weekend, but I'm not actually, that's not actually what's happening, so it's fine. So it was kind of reassuring, giving myself reassurance, but also like, how can I navigate this in a way where, oh. Yo. Hey girl.
What's up? Did you pay for your flight to London?
Yeah.
Pay your flight to London?
I got my flights, yeah.
Okay, correct.
Sorry, what was I saying? I was just having a little think because I do have some time to myself now. Most of it I'm either studying or working or out socialising. But for the limited time that I do have to think, I just really feel like I was scrambling for the last, well, my whole life, trying to figure out who I was, and what a privilege it is to have the time to think about who you are, or even care about what kind of person that you represent in the world. I really feel like I have come to the stage now after when I've had my baby, I spent a lot of time morphing into the people that I was in relationships with or that I was friends with, because I didn't know where else to go. Like, I would just take inspiration from other people and then I would adopt those attributes into my own personality and life. Whereas now I really feel like I'm coming into myself, and it's, to be honest, it's so draining doing that, like constantly having to catch up and copy other people to try to figure out who you are. But at the moment it's such a big relief to finally be like, this is who I am now, and I don't have to worry about finding it anymore. One of the great things, I think, that a huge gift now that obviously he gave me the best gift in the world, which is my daughter, but another huge gift that the father of my child gave me is, it was like looking in a mirror. So, but I was talking, so recently, how do I tie these things together? So I was talking recently to my sister about what school B's going to go to, and I have her down on a few waiting lists for a few different places because I don't know where I'm going to live. So I have her down for a few different primary schools, and one of the big things that me and her dad disagree on is schooling. And the way I view it is, now I'm a big believer in that everyone should have access to the same education. I'm really passionate about it. I just think that everyone should have, I love learning, and I just feel like everyone should have the same access to schooling. And I don't think the school system is set up in a way where everyone feels looked after or that they feel like they're capable. A lot of times it's ruining people's self-esteem and making them, and not setting them up for a good life, where it does work for a lot of people obviously, but I do think there are some, the system is definitely flawed, and teachers don't have enough resources, they don't get paid well enough, and I think that is the big huge downfall of public education, and probably why it's going so downhill. Basically, a big thing that we disagree on is schooling. So I'm like, I wanted to go to the best school, I wanted to have the best opportunities, and even though I am against private school, I'm like, if she wanted the opportunity to be able to go to private school, I want to be able to give that to her. So I have a savings account, like I have a standing order of money that goes into a saving account, a separate savings account for her education, for wherever she wants to go. Obviously primary school doesn't really matter, and also I'm learning early childhood education just to be as a backup in case there was an extenuating circumstance where we had to take her out of school. Obviously that would be the last choice, but I was contemplating homeschooling at one stage, and that's what he's more leaning towards. He kind of wants to homeschool and have private tutors, and I think that's where I was getting mostly influence. And then I was looking at other people who home educate and stuff like that, so I was looking into it, but ultimately it's what I decided against, and that's what we kind of it's a big disagreement between us. But anyway, the reason why I disagree with it is, now obviously he's really, really strongly, vehemently against private school, and it's obviously, he feels like it's unhealthy to be surrounded by people who come from such privilege. And obviously there's exceptions to that, like there's people who have scholarships, but I will say from my own experience, because I went 3 years in an all-girls Catholic public school, and then 3 years in a mixed private school where the classes were much smaller, but it was also non-denominational and international. So I kind of have had an all-round experience when it comes to education. So I feel like I have experienced it all, even though I did kind of grow up in like an affluent area, so maybe not as much as B's dad. What's good about going to school is, and something that you wouldn't be able to give a child if they were homeschooled, is that you're meeting children from different contexts. And now obviously that's very heavily dependent on the area that you grow up in as well, but I would prefer, if my daughter or my children in general, if I choose to have more down the line, I'm not sure, I'm kind of deciding against it for now. But anyway, I would like for her to grow up around people from different contexts and to meet different people. Whereas like, if you are homeschooling and home educating, it would be hard not to pass on the prejudices that you have as an adult, because obviously we're not aware of most of the prejudices that we have unless we go out into the world and we listen to other people's lived experiences. So what I learned as well, and from my school experience, I have had a lot of internalized bias that I didn't realize I had until I grew into an adult and I actually met more people. And one of the main gifts that, other than my daughter obviously, but B's dad, is that he's from a working class area and I'm obviously from a middle class area, and there were a lot of things like ingrained classism that I wasn't even aware of, or like my family or friends wouldn't even be aware of, because my circle, we all kind of live similar lives. Whereas with B's dad, he grew up in a completely different circumstance to me, so it was really beneficial for the two of us, for him to challenge me, and to also like, because we got so intimately close, it wasn't coming from a place of like hating each other or judgment. It was just making each other aware of the differences that we have. Yeah, a lot of that was due to the fact that I was in a private school and would have been surrounded by a lot of people that were like similar to me, you know, like all white middle class people. And then when you're an adult, you finally then meet people who are different to you, and then you learn more about the world. But some people, if they like stay in their area, grow up in their area, don't leave their area, stay the same friends with the same people, it can be hard to get rid of that internalized bias, prejudice that you grow up with. So it has helped me understand a bit better why people are so close-minded. So that's why I think that having third spaces for children, going to school, meeting other people is really beneficial, and why I'd be more inclined to want her to go to a school rather than be homeschooled, because I know I did mention homeschooling before. And also with the internet as well, the internet has opened up my mind so much to like maybe prejudice, because obviously I'm not a perfect person, no one's a perfect person. There'd be a lot of times where I'm telling B's dad about like sexism and shit, you know, that he wouldn't understand from the lived experience of a woman. There's a lot of things that people can teach each other, and I think it's really important to have those conversations, open and honest conversations, so that you can actually formulate a proper opinion. The problem then with the internet is that like nothing is really nuanced. Like you're only kind of getting information from the length of a comment, and you can't have proper conversations if they're not face to face. I find that any time I've had a fight with someone or a disagreement, it's always been over text, because you can't. It's like there's an element of distance between you, and you end up dehumanizing the person that's at the other end of the line, and that's what happens on the internet, is that you can never come to a conclusion, and you're not actually listening or even comprehending what the other person is trying to say. So it can be hard to take things into consideration. We always go on the defense, I think, when people are online. Now I have been more open to it now recently. I've been trying to like listen to everyone's perspective, because again with the internet we tend to like shut each other up. Like even if people are asking questions, people are telling them that they're stupid, or that they're ignorant for even asking the question to begin with. And I think that's a really dangerous territory to be in, to try eradicate people asking questions where we should be. And a lot of times it's like a public execution of each other, and we're going at each other like rabid dogs, because we all feel so insecure and scared, and none of us want to be wrong. It's so important to have conversations with the people around you who have a different lived experience than you. But I'm always trying to be better, and I think not taking things personally, not getting defensive when people are pointing out something that you said that's wrong, or that you've done that's wrong. And I always like ruminate over things that I've said in the past and been like, oh my god, why did I ever say that? But you know, I'm still a person, and I'm learning and I'm growing all the time, and at least I'm actually listening to people, you know, where a lot of people don't even fucking care. They're just not listening at all. You're going through life like this. I obviously want her to go to a Gael school. That's the thing that we both agreed on, because we both want her to have Irish. Now her daddy he's doing an Irish course so that he can, because his Irish isn't that great, but he wants to, inevitably he wants to be able to help her with her homework and stuff, so that's why he's doing it, which I think is really sweet. So secondary school, we haven't a fucking clue, we can't agree. But sure, it's very early to be thinking about those things, and it's all dependent on where I'm living. On reflection of my 2023, I did really well with my savings. The only problem is now you can get an advocate for self-employed people, but obviously I didn't know that I was going to be single. It's pushed me a bit further back from my goal of wanting to buy a house. Obviously it's going to be much harder as someone who's self-employed and single to be able to get a mortgage now. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm sure I'll figure it out, like it's fine. My goal now is to try just keep making more of an income for myself so that I have like proper financial security for me and my daughter. So like I have a standing order where a certain amount goes into my mortgage savings account, a certain amount goes into her savings account, and a certain amount goes into like the pool, the emergency fund, and it gets taken out before I check so I get paid. Then like I have loads of expenses, so I have tax, my accountant, car insurance, rent that I pay for here, my phone bill and shit like that. And then obviously I have like Netflix and random little bits. But yeah, so I let all those things, I put myself in a spending ban basically for the first week that I get paid, and I just act like I have no money. And then only after all those things will go into my savings and my expenses get taken out, and I have sort of my standing orders are all kind of in the same week. It's like from the 25th to the 1st of every month. So I know that there's going to be things getting taken out of my account, and then I'll check afterwards, and then I spend accordingly to that. So now with the fucking car situation, I don't trust myself to make, because I've done so well with my saving, I don't trust myself to make a big purchase, and I don't want to take out a big loan for the car, for a new car, and then for me to be paying it back, like to have another expense added onto that. So I'm trying to think about what to do. I was like hoping I'd get a brand ambassadorship, which is so entitled and prissy of me to be like, oh, try to get a free car. But I'm like still crossing my toes that might happen. But I'm going through a huge transitionary period at the moment, and I don't want to make any big I don't want to make any big spending decisions. So the odd time I'm borrowing, I have that type of insurance where I'm insured on everyone's car. So I had a period there where I was borrowing B's daddy's car, which was nice of him, and then I was borrowing my mammy's car. I actually am so hopeful for the future for once, because usually I have like no direction, and this time last year I was so depressed, like in the pits, in the trenches of my depression and feeling hopeless and just being like, oh, everything's shit, you know. But now I'm feeling really like B's just a fucking, like, she's just a little legend. She's really, really, not to be like, oh, my baby's a genius, she's so advanced, but like she's so good at communicating, and she's not even 18 months yet, like she's 16 months. Like she can tell me what she wants, and she said I love you yesterday. Oh, like she's just she's the bee's knees. She's getting cuter every single day, and I just love being a parent so much, and I love being her parent. I'm just so excited to see her blossom into the beautiful person that she's becoming. So yeah, I have to do a bit of studying now for the rest of the day. I'm gonna take a big shower, scrub my scalp. I'm trying to do veganuary, and I was obviously vegan, not obviously, but like I was vegan for 6 years or whatever, and now I was like, I'm gonna do veganuary. I've made the decision, and I literally don't know what to eat. Like I'm genuine. I have my Nigella cookbook. I got this from my ex last Christmas. It's like literally the best present ever. I got such good Christmas presents this year as well, like really thoughtful, lovely presents. Yeah, but like nothing in this is vegan. I don't even know why I'm looking at it. I literally don't know what to make, but it's all a journey, you guys. So I'll keep you with me, and you'll find out soon enough what my big plans are. They're not even big, like it's just, and because usually I get these ideas in my head, like often I constantly am like, I'm gonna do this, and then I jinx myself and I never do it, and I get these ideas and then I stop halfway through, or I think it's stupid. But this is the only thing that I've actually really been so passionate about and like I followed through with, so I'm feeling proud of myself just for that, and I think it's a real testament to my maturity and like growth as a person that I'm able to like follow through with things, and it's more so trusting myself. But another goal, I wanted to start a book club, was one of my main goals this year. I have 3, but I'm not going to say what 2 of them are, because I'm not going to say until they're finished. So I want to start a book club. I wasn't sure if I wanted to start, well, I suppose I could do, I just don't want to take on any extra work if I actually don't have the time to put into it. But I wanted to do a parenting book club, or like child psychology parenting book club, because then it broadens it a bit more. You don't really have to be a parent to join it. You just like have a general interest in maybe psychology, and then obviously a fiction book club, because I only noticed from the past months that I've obviously been going out every weekend, like meeting my friends and family. I went V's at her daddy's for Christmas, and I've just been drinking so much, and I get so anxious afterwards. Like my body starts to shut down, like my heart hurts, and I just don't want to drink as often. It feels like my only social outlet, because that's just what everyone else is doing, which is a real weak excuse, I think. I'm just like, well, that's what everyone else is doing. It's like there's no other options, or I don't know what else to do. So I'm just going to make my own community of people who can meet up and not have to drink to have a good time. Like, I don't even have anyone to go to the cinema with. Isn't that really sad? Like, I watch Saltburn on my own. Yeah, and I just feel like one of the main things, the downfalls of becoming a parent, and what the huge difference is between, and I've noticed it from other friends of mine who have babies as well, there's just such a huge disparity between how men and women experience new parenthood. And a lot of what suffered is my relationship with other people, because I was so wrapped up in being a mom, and I didn't have the time to like nourish my other friendships and stuff. And I just want to come back to that and have my own independence, because it's good. Like, it makes me a better parent, and also like it's unhealthy to be so focused on just your child, for her and for me, you know. So yeah, I'm trying to like come back to myself and my friendships this year, and I'm really focusing on my career. I know it's such a cock block to be like talking about how much I love my baby daddy all the time, but like I'm not interested in, I don't think I'll be interested in anyone ever. I think just in general I'm just distrusting of people, or I'm just scared I'm gonna get hurt, maybe. So yeah, trying to work on that. But it's good, like studying child psychology has been so eye-opening just for my own self and upbringing, and it's helped me be a lot more compassionate actually for other people. Even though I am compassionate in general, but I do think there's a limit to it. Sometimes I can get a bit cutthroat, just be like, oh, why do you treat people like shit, you fucking piece of shit, you know? But it makes you understand more why people are sometimes not nice. Anyway, I hope you're all having a great day. Love you.
Hey!
The counter, and they're like, oh, we don't want to, we're not taking anything. And you see, you've built yourself up to the clutter, and
Is this good? Am I busting me? But anyways, yeah, we'll try and get her on a buzz inside though. We'll try and be like, Mum, it's time to get deep. Just for the crack, can you say it though? Because if I always say it, I'm like, Mum, it's time to get deep.
Okay, I'll say it this time.
Go, Mum, it's time to get deep.
Okay,
and then to see what she says, she'll be like, no, okay, record it. So see what she says.
I'll be like this. Mom?
Like, Mum, it's time to get deep. Okay, Mum, it's time to get deep. The walls, I love the walls and the lampshade. I hate those. But I like those.
What's in there? What's in there?
Wow.
What is it?
Open.
Becky! What's the cat say? Good girl. Oh,
Oink, oink.
you're so cute. Oink, oink. Oink, oink.
Wait, there should be a giraffe in one of those books.
I don't think there is.
There is. There definitely is. Because I didn't know what to say. Keelan, did you want to visit Oakville?
Yes, please.
No, no.
Right, so you know what you're...
Oh.
Yeah.
But,
Oh! Are you gonna open your presents, honey? No. You don't want to open your presents.
Seriously, you know what she said the other day? Amen.
Oh.
She does that as well to me. If I'm sitting cross-legged, she goes, oh.
She's such a good girl.
Don't you?
Your hat,
She's opening her presents and everything, and she kept going,
now.
Shut up, Keelan. Show up. Be careful, Rose.
Sorry.
Get out of my way.
Yeah.
So what's new? It's pretty good. It's Pascal. It's Pascal.
Okay.
It's real.
Ellie, I see yours.
It's probably the best.
Yeah.
Best I've ever seen.
Oh, thanks.
I can't wait to see the radio thing for the guy on fire. Oh, I'm stop.
You want a glass or just a can?
Yeah, no,
a can of doodle.
I just did variety videos.
Okay, that is.
Yeah, they're so good. They're so good. They're so good.
Look at the other leg.
No, I think this is yours. I was hanging on when she was giving it to me. Thanks, Bob. Have you seen the music video to this? I'll show you guys after.
I know, it's not nice. It's about to have it. Keelan is popping the pops. Keelan's in pain, right? Yes, I'm going through a phase. I'm going
It's
through
like
a
you randomly pick.
I'm going
Keelan
through-
actually knows everything.
I'm going to go through a fat random phase. Can I pause next, please?
Well, I gave you one.
That one. If there's none of those, the goblet one. There should be